Welcome to Larford Lakes. We've got 26 of the country's top commercial anglers who've been battling it out through the summer to win qualifiers to earn a place in this year's Golden Reel final. Morning Phil, where do you fancy today, mate?
I would say the middle of the Burr is where I would like to be. T223 area, and then I think 5 or 6 over that side on the Chalet Bank.
Any idea what sort of weight you think you might need today?
100 to 120, I reckon.
How about you, Sam? Where do you fancy today?
Similar to Phil, I'd say, definitely. I think also there's a couple of pegs with an outside chance. There's a few sheltered areas where we've seen a lot of carp rolling, where we haven't really fished in the practice matches as well. So like areas out of the matches where generally the carp fishermen go and put a lot of bait, and there's a few fish rolling there. So some of those pegs might have an outside chance, just middle of the Chalet Bank and just up as well.
Anywhere top end, although it is a cold wind, so you never know where the fish are going to be really, but we'll hope for a draw at the top end.
What kind of weight do you reckon you might need today?
At least £100, but it could be easy £200.
Anywhere this end of the lake.
Either bank?
Either bank, like 1 to 5, or the late 20s.
Middle of the bank somewhere, not the top end.
Either bank?
Either bank.
Yeah.
Far bank looks calmer. Wind seems to be sort of swirling around, but it seems a bit easy to fish the long pole over there.
Any predictions what weight you think you might need today?
I'm going to go 150.
From speaking to some of the anglers this morning, there were lots of different areas of the lake that they actually fancied drawing, and because we've got this wind blowing down into this bottom bank here, this bottom area was certainly the favoured area.
Warm welcome to the 2025 Grand Final. Christian Jones.
The anglers are all at the pegs now. They've got 2 hours now to set up. We're going to be fishing 12 until 5, and as you can appreciate, on a commercial venue like this, on a lake like Spessy Lake, the one behind me, there are some huge fish in here, well into 20 pounds, and so we know it's not going to be over until the final few minutes. In last year's final, it literally went right to the wire, and we're expecting to see that today. Because of the nature of this lake, we know we're going to see some short pole fishing, some long pole fishing, there will be some shallow fishing, there could potentially be some pellet waggler fishing as well, and the bomb and method feeder will come into it as well. So this is quite a technical lake. It's not all about pole fishing, so we know as we work our way around these lakes, we're going to see anglers fishing lots of different methods, and with such big fish in this lake, we know that it might not take that many bites to put together a winning weight. It's just 2 minutes to the off. We've gone down the bank and had a chat with quite a few of the anglers. Most of them are going to be pole fishing. However, we have spoken to 1 or 2 anglers. Jimmy Brooks seems to think that a pellet waggler could come into play today, and so does Jamie Hughes. Jamie is just at the bottom of the slope behind me, and there are lots of fish moving out there. There are lots of fish rolling, some really, really big fish as well. But we are also expecting the bomb and pellet to come into it as well. So we're just about to go in. All the anglers are just about ready, and we're fishing 12 until 5.
It literally could be won anywhere. I personally have had a little bet on Phil Canning, who's on peg 6, I think, down the Burbank. I've had a bet on Jamie Hughes. One's got to have a bet on Jamie Hughes. The terrible odds I've got, but he's drawn where he wanted to be. The other bet is Mark Griffiths, who's drawn peg 3. But look, on those early pegs, which are all good pegs, I mean, Phil Canning's drawn peg 5. Ryan Laycock's drawn peg 6. These are mean anglers, you know. Danny Squire on peg 4. Mark Griffiths on peg 3. Howard Kelly. 20 to 1 odds as well on peg 2, and Adam Richards. They're all flyers down there. With this wind direction, there should be a lot of fish down there. I can't call it, I really can't. I wish I could, I can't. Stranger things have happened. I mean, they might start catching carp fairly early on, but to form what's been happening on the Spessy Lake, and it happens so much, is that you can have a pretty difficult 2 or 3 hours catching next to nothing. There's a load of skimmers to be caught, mind, if anybody pays attention and has a go for them. But the last 2 hours of the match, you can go into that last 2 hours with £20 of fish and come away with 200. Because when them fish come in the edges, which they will at some point, then it's dippy bread time.
Well, we are literally just 10 minutes in, and we're currently behind Dale Shepherd. Now this is his second fish. He's already had 1 big carp. We saw him catch that earlier, literally in the first 5 or 6 minutes. He's into another one now. It's another good fish. His last one was bigger than that, so he's definitely leading at the minute. There's been 2 single carp caught up to his left. Matadors has hooked one and lost it, unfortunately. That's Jimmy Brooks there at the next peg. We've seen him catch what we think was a bream. And then the other angler who's caught is Craig Edmonds, who's had a carp fishing shallow further up to the left. So we think Dale's fishing.
Howard Kelly, 20 to 1 bet here. Howard Kelly on peg 2. Playing a good fish. Howard Kelly.
Howard Kelly's down there. He's back down there in front of the shallows, down round that corner. So that's the first carp we've heard being hooked down in that part of the lake. Lots of anglers have already said, you know, today with the size of the fish in this lake, they're almost predicting they might only be after 10 bites today. Dale's definitely the leader in after 15 minutes. Just to the left of Dale is Jimmy Brooks. Jimmy Brooks is into a proper fish now. We've already seen him catch what we think was a bream, 2 or 3 pound. This is definitely not a bream. He's starting off shallow, just flicking his rig over, just like most anglers have started like that.
Came up from the podium, I think Jamie Hughes is just about to land a big fish. Jamie Hughes on peg 7.
So we've just left Jamie, he's into a fish again, he's fishing shallow as well on the long pole. But we'll stay with Jimmy, hopefully he's going to land this fish. This area is not known for being a fantastic area in these finals, you know, historically. But like I say, it has been pegged slightly different this time, and some of these pegs on here have got a little bit more room than they have had in previous finals. You can see the average stamp of the fish. This is how they're going to put the weights together today. You know, they might not be after many bites to put a big weight together. We're 20 minutes in and behind Jamie Hughes, full depth rig, that's a bream, that one. He has already had a carp. So many bream in here, you know, and sometimes they can quite often average 2 to 3 pound. You know, it's easy sometimes for people to put 40, 50 pound together of them in between while they're trying to catch carp as well. Currently watching Howard. Now we've heard that he's already got a carp in the net. The first angler that we know of to hook a carp down here in front of the shallows. So if he lands this one, he's going to be the early leader down here. This will put him in a great position early on to have caught 2 when we haven't heard about any other carp being caught in this section at this stage. That's Jamie Hughes has got a second carp there. We are 45 minutes into the match now, and there's definitely been more fish caught than what there was at this stage last year in last year's final. It is much milder, it's much warmer, and particularly over on that far bank, over on the shallow bank, that is where we've seen quite a few early fish caught over there. Matadors has caught over there, Jamie Hughes has caught over there. Quite a few of the anglers that we've been following this morning have got at least 1 carp. We think the best angler over there, or certainly the one that's caught the most, is Dale Shepherd. The last time we heard, he actually got 3 carp already. He's just fishing a pole at about 10 metres on the bottom. However, lots of the fish that have been caught shallow. People like Jimmy Brooks, he's hooked 2 fish. The first fish he hooked actually, he just pulled out of that. That was a big carp, but he's just gone and caught a big carp now. He's also had a bream as well. He's fishing shallow. However, Jamie Hughes is further down that bank at the bottom of the slope, and he's got 2 carp now and a skimmer, and he's actually fishing full depth. He is actually fishing hard pellets on the bottom, so it's a much better start than what we expected. Over here on the Burr, there have been about 4 or 5 carp caught, all single fish. You can probably see behind me that there's a carp that's just been hooked there as well. This is Simon Skelton, We have actually just seen him lose a fish. Yeah, he hooked one, he's fishing along on the pole, and he actually lost a fish that he's pretty sure was foul looked a good fish. So we think this might be his first fish. It's the first one that we've heard about. That wind is getting a little bit stronger, the rain's coming as well now. They forecast that rain to come. But it's nice to see so many fish caught early on. It really bodes well for it, obviously getting better as we get later on into this afternoon. I think the more anglers over on this bank fishing full depth, they're fishing on the bottom, and the majority of them that we've seen are actually fishing on the bottom with hard pellets and just feeding it via catapult. "90 minutes in, we're currently behind Sam Brown. We know he's had a couple of carp. That's a smaller, well, it's a bream, not a skimmer, but it's a bream, that one. And you know, like I say, he is on this end here. You know, he's on a bit of a point here. We are 2 hours in, and it looks like we've got a bit of possibly a 3-horse race at the moment. I'm currently over on the Shally bank underneath the trees. Just over here on the end peg is Sam Brown, but we think one of the leaders here, just seen Craig Edmonds hook a fish there, is Kieran Marsden. Kieran's just here. He's admitting to about £60. Now you're probably only looking at probably 4 or 5 fish for that. So he's admitted to around £60, and then the other angler down there is Matty Dawes. Matty Dawes, we think, is in the lead with £65. So that's telling you how close it is, but it's also telling you that whilst they've only possibly caught 4 or 5 fish, it's giving you a great idea at the actual stamp of the fish that they're catching. This looks like it could be a carp, what Craig's hooked. And then the other angler we think's in the mix now, he's just caught a carp, about £8 a few minutes ago, and that is Jimmy Brooks. So we think he's in the mix. But we're currently behind Craig Edmonds here now, and we think this is his probably 5th fish. He's lost about 4, but obviously the average stamp is so big that you only need 1 or 2 more bites and you're back in it. He's got that one, that's another carp. So that can't put him too far away now. And ironically, all these leaders are all over here on this part of the Shally bank. Well, we're over 2 hours in now. We're currently behind Simon Skelton. We know that he's caught at least 4 at this stage. Again, all good fish. And at the time of recording this, yeah, that's another one he's got. He's really doing well now. He's right up there now with the leaders. Over there, we've just heard reports that Kieran Marsden is into another fish. We left him 20 minutes ago. He was admitting to £60. Obviously that's boosting his weight up now. We also know that Matty Dawes has also just caught another one. So he's in the front now. He's got over £70 now. So it's definitely between those 2 anglers. But with fish showing all the way around the lake, a run of fish really could come from anywhere. Currently watching Matty Dawes from the other bank. And we're just working our way down the Burbank, finding out what's been caught over here. And Matty's definitely in the lead. He was admitting to £65 half an hour ago, and we know that's his 2nd fish since then. So he may have caught more, but that area of that bank is definitely seems to be fishing out a little bit better. So at this stage, as we head to the halfway point, it's between Matty Dawes and Kieran Marsden with £70 plus. And literally, as we look round, having watched Matty just net that fish, just looking across at Kieran Marsden, who's having a battle with Matty. He's into another fish as well. Hardly seeing any anglers fishing shallow now. He's lost that one. We're at the halfway stage now, and we're back behind Simon Skelton, who definitely seems to be doing the best at this top end of the Bur. It's really been quiet up here. I mean, the next peg here is Jordan Holloway. He's literally just sat on that long pole, hard pellets, on the bottom, just being really patient. But Simon's doing well. He's ticking over nicely here. He netted one about. Is it a smaller one, this one? Two small ones and two 10-pounders. Nice one, mate. But yeah, we saw him catch one about 15 minutes ago. Stamp of the fish is going to be mega, you know, because obviously he's got 4 fish, but over on that other bank there are anglers over there who've got 4 fish, and that will give them £50, you know. It's way it is, but obviously we're only at the halfway stage. He's definitely doing the best at this top end here. It's usually the hardest area, this. As you can see, the wind's not really hitting it much. As you can see, the anglers have been really patient. And as we look down the Bur to the left, we can't see anybody playing any fish. By far the best area so far is opposite. It's over there. We've got Craig Edmonds over there. Matty Dawes over there. And Jimmy Brooks as well. And all 3 of those anglers are right in the mix. That's Jimmy, who's playing one now on rod and reel. He was on the pole when we was over there. Jordan's just hooked one to our right, but over there on that far bank, that's definitely been the best area. And Kieran Marsden is right in the mix as well. He must have got £70 now. Just seen him lose one. You got Jordan here, just being really patient. Just double pouching pellets in on that long pole line, full depth. And Simon's lost that one. He's pulled out of it. Quite a few lost fish today. Some of them are foul hooked, admittedly. But with the average stamp of the fish being so big, we know it's going to cost some of these anglers. We're into the second half now, and we're back over in front of the Chalets. And one of the anglers who caught 2 carp early on was Howard. As you can see, he's just netting another one now, so we think that's possibly his 4th. So he must be doing the best down at this bottom end in front of the Chalets. So again, every section is so tight, so close, 1 fish here and there. And some anglers have lost up to 3 and 4 fish already today, so everybody's getting a chance. We are just coming into the final 2 hours, and we're over in front of the Chalets, and we've literally, in the last 10 minutes, we saw Howard hook and land a fish, and within minutes he's into another one now, and he's just had to add sections on and follow the fish out. So it looks a big fish. We've seen lots of foul hook fish today, quite a few of them. You know, fish that people have lost, they have been foul hooked, particularly the anglers that have been fishing full depth rigs. So there are still a lot of fish up in the water, as you'd expect. Got quite a bit of depth here in front of these. It's usually about that 10-12 feet deep. He's managing to get some sections back on this fish. Big fish for Christian over there. He's over there on that other bank on the Bur. He was struggling about half an hour ago. He was admitting to £30, so he's just had that. Was obviously a big fish that he just landed there. Andy Powers over there on the other bank. Neil McKinnon, who's sitting with him, he was admitting to £44, which was about the best weight that we heard over there. However, he did catch another fish straight after that, so he's potentially got £50 plus. So we think this might be Howard's, could be his 5th fish. He's doing by far the best. Down here, on his right here, is Adam Richards, who had 2 fish pretty early on. He had a smaller fish, but he also caught a huge carp of about £18. So this section has been fishing harder. Seen quite a few anglers now switching to rod and line tactics as well. Jamie Hughes down there, we think he's got 4 carp. Perry Stone over there, he's opposite in the middle of the burr over there. He's been struggling. He's got it. Into the final 2 hours now. Now we're starting to see anglers feed down their margins, down the inside. Most of them big potting ground bait in, and some of them just going that metre and a half away from the bank, just down where it's not really shallow, just where it's just down that slope a little bit. Nearly every angler I've seen feed it, just feeding it with ground bait. Quite a few of them have got maggots in there as well, dead reds as well, but with exactly 2 hours to go, we're starting to see anglers feeding these inside lines now. Well, I know some of them are really going to be open for a late run of fish. At this stage, Howard has really put himself in it. He's just netted his 6th at fish. So he's doing by far the best down here in this section, in front of the chalets. But he is actually doing well in the match as well. You know, he can't be too far behind those leaders now. We're currently behind Matty Dawes. There are 90 minutes left. The prediction about Matty's weight about 15 minutes ago was about £80. We've got him down as leading. It is going to be really close. At this stage we've got Matty, you know, he's got maybe £90 now, £90-ish. We've got Kieran Marsden, who's very close behind him, and then we've also got Jimmy Brooks, who's on the right of Matty, who's just to the right there. He's probably within 2 or 3 fish of Matty's weight. So Matty had that little run, he went in front, and he's managing to keep on to that lead. Most anglers now, certainly the Kieran and Matty, fishing similar, or it looks similar. They're fishing a long pole, full depth rigs, pellets on the bottom, and the rain is back now. The wind has dropped, it's gone really humid, but Matt's just got to keep picking off fish just to stay in front, otherwise these other anglers are going to catch him. We are into the final 50 minutes and the rain is back and the wind is back. We're currently behind Steve Rowe. It's been really slow down at this end. About an hour ago he told us he'd only got 1 F1 and a skimmer. Really difficult down here, and the same at this bottom end of the burr. That last hour has really been slow for everyone really. Matty Dawes is over there on the far bank. We know that he's just kept off picking off fish. We think he's got £90 now. We think he's staying in front of the others. Jimmy Brooks over there, who we think is possibly pushing Matty Dawes the hardest. You know, he keeps picking off fish. He's 2 to his right, so we think he's possibly in second place now. But with 50 minutes to go, and with fish being caught here today between 16 and 18 pound, it's certainly not over yet. And even some of these anglers that might be 20, 30 pound off those leaders, they can easily make that up. Certainly if they get some of these big fish turning up down these margins. We are into the final 50 minutes and there's just odd fish being caught. We still think that Matty Dawes is in front. However, whilst Kieran Marsden has actually slowed down catching, Jimmy Brooks could be pushing Matty really close. We know down here we've got Howard here who's got at least 6 carp. Jamie Hughes has just netted another fish, so we know it's going to be very close. Over on that other bank over there where Jordan Holloway is, the fishing isn't quite as good. However, at that top end, they are catching a few fish. Not loads, you're probably looking at 5 or 6 carp needed to win that area. That's Steve Rowe, he's over there on the burr as well. He's in one of those sections over there. The top section, they've caught a few fish, you know, nothing mega, but you might be looking at 5 or 6 carp, something like that. But that could be £60 today, depending on the stamp of fish. But at this lower end here, this bottom end here of the burr, it has fished much harder down here. They are fishing 4 section prizes as well. There are 4 sections around the lake, all £500 prizes to the winners of those sections. So even if they're in a harder section like it is over there, they've still got £500 to fish for. But with fish like this, 16, 18 pounders in some case being caught, even at this stage, you know, it's still not over. Well, welcome back everybody. We are into the final 10 minutes now. Just currently behind Jamie Hughes. And Jamie, we're not exactly sure how many he's actually got, but we don't think he's got enough to challenge Matty Dawes. He caught a fish about 5 minutes ago, a carp, and he's just this minute pulled out of one. He was fishing full depth, and I'm pretty sure that one was foul hooked. He only had it on for a few seconds. Seen a lot of that today. So we are knocking off at 5 o'clock when we finish. That is when we're going to be doing a full lake weigh-in. We'll be going round with the scales, starting down here on peg 1. Interestingly, the last 3 fish to have been caught, one was down there. Second from MPEG is Adam Richards, who's pretty much struggled. He'd only got 2 carp, but he's just had another carp, so that's 3 we know he's got now. The last one was a big one, looked like a double figure fish. And then the other 2 fish were what we possibly could probably say was first and second in the match today. That's what we're thinking. One of those is Matty Dawes. We think Matty Dawes has just kept in front of the other anglers, but Jimmy Brooks, 2 pegs to his right, has just kept picking fish off throughout the day. And we think Jimmy may have done enough to be second. We don't think he's got quite as much as Matty, but that's what we think at the moment. Over on that far bank, over on the Burr bank over there, at that bottom end, it has fished much harder, unfortunately. But there are 4 section prizes to be paid out today of £500. So even though those anglers over there on the Burr, that first section there, even though it has fished harder, they have still got section prizes to fish for. It's not all about, you know, the top 3 placings. As you can see, there aren't any fish being caught down here. We know that Howard down there, Howard had got 6 carp earlier, well, about an hour and a half ago he'd got 6 carp. We're not sure if he's had any more since then, so we strongly think he's done the best down here in the section. Kieran Marsden was in 2nd place. Well, we had Kieran just behind Matty Dawes, but Kieran's swim seems to have just died, you know, and that the difference between those two, you know, between Matty and Kieran, have really opened up a big gap. This is currently behind Phil Canning here, just netting is it a bream? He's just had a couple of silver fish on that line. He's on that top kit line. Jamie Hughes again is just bringing a small fish in down there, as you can see. But today has obviously been all about the big carp.
Peg 9, Jimmy Brooks, right at the death, playing a fish. That's Jimmy Brooks.
We are just about to start the live weigh-in for today's golden reel final here at Larford Lakes. We're down at the bottom end here. This is end peg blocker number 1. This is young Jensen. He's just weighing his fish. £9.9 that way. In case you're wondering, there is a prize for the blockers today. There are 4 blockers, 1 on each corner, 1 on each end, and it's £100 to the top weight that the blockers get. So they are all fishing their own match, as well as they've served a good job just trying to take away that end peg advantage. That's the whole idea of it. So
number 1, Jensen Ludgate, £32.9.
£32.9. So that's the first weight, or the top weight for the blockers so far, obviously. So from what we know, we don't think any of the blockers have really had fantastic days, even though they've been on an end. So that could be enough.
Peg 2, Howard Kelly, £101.0.
There you go. And when people are saying they've caught 6 and 7 fish, if they're as big as those, he's in contention now with that weight. £101. Gone under the radar a little bit, that weight, I think. People mainly counting fish and not realising. I'm behind Jamie now, Jamie Hughes. Quite fancied this draw today, he said. You know, there were fish moving everywhere, carp out there. Lots of spectators now, as you can imagine, building up as we approach the middle of this bank to where we know Matty has caught. And there could be some other surprises with Jimmy as well.
£56.12.
£56.12 for that one.
Peg 7, Jamie Hughes, £132.12. That's a good £90, Jay.
You see what we're saying about these weights? Yeah, some people guessed.
Hold on, Jay.
Well, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. When I said there were going to be some surprises based on what we've heard's been caught, that just goes to show you, doesn't it? That was a £90 estimate. 132. Unbelievable. Who knows what other surprises we might have now. Are you still nervous? You're more nervous than him.
29.13.
29.13 for that way. 7.14 final way.
Well done, Jim. Well done, Jim.
£144.4.
Fantastic. Well done, Jimmy. £144.
£144.
So that is your new leader up to now, with Matty Dawes has got away. We had Matty down as having more fish than Jimmy. But again, as we've seen already, if the stamp's different, who knows? And plus we've got Andy Power on the other bank to weigh as well, who's reported he's got £100. So this is Matthew, we had leading the competition certainly for the last probably 3 hours. He's just ticked over, he just kept putting fish in the net. When we were watching him, he's fishing on the long pole, full depth, bump bar in the pole. At one stage he'd got worm on, but he fed pellets over the top, double pouching, and just really patient fishing, but he just kept putting fish in the net. I think there is silvers that he's getting out of the way first. £2.12 I think that one was. £2.12, those were his silvers, and he has got three nets in. Final weigh.
53.4.
53.4 final weigh. Might just be enough. 147. Just to confirm that, they're just double checking it.
Peg 10. Matty Dawes. £147.5.
That's your new leader, 147. How close was that?
Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your support in this 2025 Grand Final. It's been wicked weather, I appreciate that, but it has been a very close final, to say the least. I'm starting with the first section. The first section, just for the record, goes 1 to 6, and the winner of that section was Ryan Laycock with 127.7. That's Ryan Laycock, everybody. Second section went from peg 7 to peg 13, and that was won with 85.12. Craig Edmonds. Third section was 14 to 20, and the section was won by Jordan Holloway with 93.13. Well done, Jordan. And the last section was 21 to 26, and the section was won by Mikey Williams with 66.2. Come on, Mikey. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you very much. Right, this is your top 3. In third place today, collecting £2,000 is Jamie Hughes with 32.12. Well done, Jamie. Jamie Hughes, everybody, give a round of applause. In second place, wow, I mean, the weight was 145.8 as against 147.5. And I think, Jimmy, you've lost a few fish, I think. So, in second place, collecting £3,000 is Jimmy Brooks. Well done, Jimmy. Jimmy Brooks, everybody, fished a brilliant match. And the winner, qualified for this via the semi-finals, so it just goes to show how important them semi-finals are. If you're in it, you can win it. And this guy has done a tremendous job today. He's weighed £147 and 5 ounces from peg 10. Matty Dawes!
Yeah, I've had a dead simple day. I set up short, long and a slapping rig. I've started slapping, I lost one and then I went on the bottom. I had a few liners, so I knew there was a few fish about. We'd seen him topping in the morning and everyone from like Jimmy down hooked some slapping, so I thought I'm definitely on some fish. So I just pinged some pellets long, pellet on early, and then Sam said to me, try a worm, 2 worms on. It's just been steady away. We've had some big fish in, and I feel like I was on the fish because I've had some smaller fish middle of the match when everyone else was struggling. So,
Right.
But
can I ask you what sort of quantity of bait you fed? Do you know? Because people were saying you were feeding heavier.
yeah, I probably fed like 4 pints
Of what?
of 6 mils.
6 mils?
Yeah, 6 mils. Yeah, yeah. When I feed quite aggressive. So I fed like 20 twice, and then just sit there and wait. Fished in a bump bar, dead patient. So
Fantastic, mate. Job done. Huge congratulations. Well done, mate.
thank you very much.